Hi, and welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We thank you for joining us today. And you know us by now. We are Andrea Patel and Celia Milton, and we are full-time professional wedding officiants here in New Jersey. And today we are going to review our latest weddings. I'll review mine, and Celia will review hers. They're both quite different and quite fun.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
how's it going, Celia?
It's good. It's good.
Good.
It's nice to be kind of over the weekend, you know? It's kind
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it's always fun. It's exciting leading up to the weekend of weddings and finally performing the weddings that we've written and the couples we've gotten to know so well. It's really it's really a great job in that sense. It brings a lot of joy to us. And
Yeah.
now it's behind us. Those are done. Now we have our week to prepare for the next one. So, well, I'll go first then. I'm going
Okay.
to review my sunrise ceremony.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And Sunrise always, I love booking them. They're always small weddings. They're either elopements or micro weddings or
Mhm.
vow renewal because there's only so many guests that you can get to to
You're
join you
right.
at Sunrise. I do sunset ones too, but something I'm at the shore, so I'm on the beach. So when I say sunrise, we're on the beach at sunrise. What you have to keep in mind is we are on the East Coast. The sun does not set over our ocean. We don't get sunsets. That's going to happen in California. We get the beautiful sunrise. And here in the summer, that sunrise happens early, pretty early, about five something in the morning, getting close to
Right.
6. It's the night before when I'm going to bed at 8 p.m., and setting my alarm for 4. I'm like, Andrea, why do you do this? But then you get to the beach, and even on like a 4th of July weekend or a top summer days, at that time of the morning, there's parking.
Hmm.
It's somewhat empty, but it's never as empty as you think it's going to be. You're going to be surprised at how many people are up at sunrise.
Oh yeah. Doing
Fish
walks, walking their dogs, sure.
Right, and then people love a sunrise. I don't care how many sunrises I see. When that sun, first it's like daybreak. You see the daybreak, and some people that aren't used to it might think they've missed the sunrise, but daybreak happens first, and that's where the sky gets a little lighter. And then right on time, it happens on time. You look it up. What time does the sun rise? If it's 5:47, at 5:47, there it happens. I'm getting chills just talking about it.
Mhm.
Just that the sun coming up over the ocean, it is spiritual every time you see it, and
Yes.
it's beautiful. So my advice for a sunrise ceremony is don't be late.
Yes.
Don't be late. You've gotten up. I'm up. Lots of times you have a photographer and stuff. Don't be late. You booked a sunrise. Why be late for it? And Also, you can't be disappointed when you're talking about Mother Nature. You have to keep in mind that we could have rain or we
Yeah.
could have fog. If it is
Oh,
foggy or
fog.
cloudy, we don't see the sunrise. And you just have to know, you have to be okay with that. We don't know what it's going to be like until we get up in the morning and it happens. Till it's really kind of, the rain we can predict and maybe change the date or the time or do whatever works for everybody involved. But that kind of the clouds, you really don't know if you're going to see the sunrise. But I tell you, 9 out of 10 times it's there and it's beautiful and amazing. And it's a really, really nice way to have a wedding,
Oh
especially if you're
yeah.
eloping. You really will need your 2 witnesses because it's hard for me to find witnesses for sunrise. I don't
Yeah,
have too
that's
many
true.
that are willing to get up for sunrise, but it's so gorgeous, I don't know how to put it into words. Now, sunset weddings are nice as well, and right this time of year, that's happening at around 8:15.
Hmm.
Although we don't see the sun set over the ocean, over the Atlantic. What we what we will get are the pastel skies as it sets, behind us. There's some bays. There's some beautiful bays that you can see the sunset, like at the Lavalette Gazebo over that bay, and
Mm.
some beautiful bays. But if you're going to be on the beach, we're going to get those pastel skies, as the sun sets. And it's a very romantic, peaceful time to have a ceremony. And of course, I love to personalize those ceremonies with some sunrise wording. Each sunrise brings a new beginning, right?
Mhm.
What better time or place to be by the ocean at sunrise, a new beginning, a new day, for the couple. It's about their new beginnings too. And same with sunset. You talk about the pastel skies and the changes, and you know, it's so we can personalize it to your liking. So it's really quite beautiful, but always keep Mother Nature in mind because she doesn't always work with you.
Doesn't always play along.
Yeah, and be on time. If you're doing it for a specific thing, be on time. So where were you, Celia?
Oh, speaking of Mother Nature not exactly cooperating, I was at Crystal Springs, the Crystal
Oh,
Springs Resort in North Jersey there in
that's
Hardyston, in like
beautiful.
the Vernon
Wow.
area. It is beautiful. And I thought it was an especially it's always a good choice, but I thought it was a really good choice for my couple. Um, my couple lives in California, and but all their family is here, and they've got friends. They went to school in New York State, so they have friends scattered around the country. And so they really wanted to have a place where everybody could stay together. Crystal Springs has there's actually four resorts that make up the group, and they have some of the best golf courses in the country. Absolutely stunning. So, it was kind of a lot of people, I think, stayed for, a few days, really made a destination wedding out of it, which was, lovely because they got to spend a little bit of time with people that they don't get to see very often, which is always great too. They have restaurants on site, and they could do their rehearsal there. So it really was kind of like a destination wedding, except it's like right here.
Yeah.
And they decided I think the wedding was Saturday. They decided on Friday after the rehearsal that they were going to move inside because it was so oppressively hot.
Yeah, we
And
had the high heat warnings and
it
stuff.
was it was
Yeah.
just it was really, really, really hot.
Unsafe.
And
Yeah.
I was struck when I spoke to the coordinator, that Kathleen, who's wonderful. I mean, they were so flexible, and they were so accommodating. And she said it's funny that everybody at the hotel thought that it was so nice of this couple to actually make this call and go inside. It was so accommodating to their guests, and really cognizant of, we all have these weddings where it's either 45 degrees or it's, feels like 110. And the thing that I always think of, besides, if you have elderly people or babies, or they're people with health concerns, they don't want to be out there. They
No.
just don't.
Yeah.
And we spent time creating a beautiful ceremony for them. um and nobody really is listening to it at all. They're just wondering how long is it going to last. So we were inside. The bride's mom is a
Good call.
florist,
Yeah.
and there was a tiki theme. It was so pretty, with like big tropical leaves and birds of paradise, and I mean everything
Oh,
was
how
so
beautiful.
pretty.
Perfect for this time of year.
Oh, it was gorgeous. And the couples, they're very funny. They're very expressive people. They wrote their own vows, which were absolutely hilarious. And their story is like this grand sweeping story of how, they fell in love, and they traveled around the country together, and they've started a business together. And it was so personal. And I think, the fact that the people who are listening to it, we have people, we all have, people in our hearts that we don't talk to. They're not on speed dial. And it was just such a great chance to bring everybody like up to speed on what's been going on. But my favorite, we brought their moms up and gave their moms flowers and made them cry, which I always love to do. But my
Yeah.
favorite is like, she says, well, we want to do a unity ritual. It's like, okay, well, why don't we do, she says, well, we love to make cocktails. She says, okay.
Okay, fun.
So we did a Mai Tai sharing, which was hilarious. The again, Kathleen was like, I called her literally that morning. I'm like, we're doing this thing and we need these things. She's like, no problem. We'll get it together. It'll be
All
fine.
right.
And it was. And they had all the ingredients for Mai Tai. They had lime juice and rum, obviously, and orgeat. I had to look that up. I didn't know how to say it. But I said something about all the ingredients. So there's lime is like long life and longevity, and the almond syrup is luxury and indulgence, and then the rum is just traditionally served at wherever it's made in the Caribbean or Jamaica or wherever it's made, it's always served at celebrations. So they just poured everything together and swizzled it all up and drank it, and it was just like it was so fun, and it's just so unexpected too. But
Yeah, what a fun,
perfect,
unexpected, and goes with the theme. Just so
perfect for
perfect for the
them,
theme.
absolutely perfect.
Was that also a signature drink or?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was, and we had a little dog blessing for their dogs,
Aw,
and Crystal Springs is just their food is amazing and just beautifully presented. The bride's father is a musician, so they had a band, and the cocktail hour was like such a mix of music from like steel drums to Frank Zappa to
oh, love it.
it's just like the best music, and a lot of his friends were there, and people were just really enjoying it. What I loved about it was that they really seized upon all these different places that they could inject their personality into this. It really looked like their wedding, and that's always really fun, and people were just like, oh my gosh, they just like absolutely loved it. It
I
was
bet the
great.
guests loved it. What a
They-
great memory. Yeah, nice
Great.
resort hotel. I like any time that um there's a hotel on the
Yes.
premise and people can arrive early, a day early and enjoy a weekend. They don't have to worry about traveling after partying,
It was great.
right there.
It's
Right
great.
there, all inclusive.
Yeah, no, very resort like, and yeah, I kind of like, we have a lot of venues up here that do have hotels on site, and I just always think that's such a great idea
Yeah.
because you don't have to deal with then transportation and shuttles. Like the Old
Yeah.
Mill in Madison, you have a beautiful restaurant there. If you're going to do a rehearsal dinner or a welcome dinner, it takes your planning to like such a more relaxed level.
Right, right. Yes, very much so. You have don't have to deal with that. You don't have
Yeah.
to deal with that. And you can have, if you have your hotel room, if they don't have a all day bridal suite or getting ready suite, you can have your hair and makeup come to your
Mhm.
hotel room and stuff. And then for the guests, it's so convenient for the guests because if I'm going to be a guest at a wedding that I have to travel far from, that I can't take an Uber, I want to stay. I'm going to
Oh
stay
yeah,
overnight,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that I can enjoy.
Well, I think it was fun too because there were like, it was, I would say maybe 120, 100, not humongous, 130 people maybe. And they all kind of had the experience of being there for at least like the day before and that day and maybe the day after to like bump into people that they knew or people that they knew were from the wedding, and they could get to know each other. It was kind of like a 3-day wedding. It was really fun for people. Now everybody was like, by the time that we did the wedding on Saturday night, everybody was so relaxed and like happy, and that, I mean, that was going to be a party, let me tell you. It was I like it.
It's fun coming off a big wedding like that, where
Mm,
all the personalization worked and
yeah,
where everybody was so pleased and it all went so smoothly. And I've heard really great things about Crystal Springs, right?
that's
Crystal
beautiful.
Springs.
They have 4 different resorts, and
Yes.
this Ballyoan is kind of like a Scottish themed golf resort, which is adorable. Minerals is more of like a spa, and
Mhm.
Black Bear, I haven't been there in a while, so I can't really remember what the theme was, but they all stay, they're within, I don't know, 10 minutes of each other. And so people can stay at one of the resorts and be at any of the weddings, any place. It's really fun. They do a fabulous, fabulous job too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really great. Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed hearing about sunrise ceremonies and weddings over at Crystal Springs, and happy planning.
Yeah, indeed. Have a great one. You're engaged. That is just great. But right after that excitement, stress can sneak in like a surprise RSVP. Traditional weddings are beautiful, but they can also be expensive and complicated and, frankly, a little overwhelming. What if your wedding could be everything you dream of, minus the drama? At NJ Vows Now, we believe your special day should reflect your unique love story, not some outdated list of rules. You can have all the wedding and none of the stress. We have sweet little parks and pretty gardens from the Hudson River to the Jersey Shore to the lush forests of the North and the West. We'll connect you with a curated network of amazing vendors who will understand your vision and respect your budget. We're all passionate, professional, dedicated to making your wedding a relaxed, unforgettable experience. Yes, you still need a license, but we can help you with that too. It's fast, it's easy, and you can still throw a big party later if you want. Doesn't that sound great? Of course it does. So just ditch the drama, vow to be different, and reach out to us at njvowsnow.com. We will have the confetti cannons ready.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.